All right. So we are officially recording, gentlemen. I want to do a little. I want to do a little toast here. A little toasty toast.
All right.
All right. You guys got your drinks?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
A little ASMR for the crowd.
mine's gonna be a cap. So
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Got that water bottle with a little vodka in there.
no, no, no,
Fucking
no, no,
old.
no. It's a
He's got,
handle.
he's got that grade 11 shit.
Sounds like he's drinking fucking Evan Williams.
Fucking driving his fucking muffler tipped Honda
Uh,
Civic to school. Drinking watermelon flavored vodka in fucking third period.
that actually makes me want to vomit. All
Yeah,
right.
this
The times. All right, boys. It's been a ride. A little fucking clang clang.
clink clink like that.
A little clang clang. A little. Let me get. Boom. It's been a ride, boys. I wouldn't have chosen to do this with anyone else.
Uh,
Oh, that's lovely. That is lovely. Oh. All right, Jackson, you want to fire this off?
oh,
All right.
fuck.
Here we go.
Mm-mm.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the first ever official gym podcast. My name is Jaxon. I'm the director of operations of the organization. I'm here with Richard and Javi. Richard is the owner of PDHM, and Javi is one of the team managers of PDHM, one of our best team managers. Tonight, we'll be discussing PDHM and what we are and kind of how we got to this point. We'll do a little no spoilers review for Star Wars. Promise I won't spoil anything. And we're going to talk about the triangle of console FPS, and specifically what I'm talking about is Battlefield 5, COD, and Siege, and where they're going and how they're probably going to evolve in the next year. We're also going to close out with a roadmap of PDHM, what our plans and goals are, and really where we want to see this by the end of 2020. So, Rich, you wanna start us out? Kind of.
Well said, son. Well said. You know, if we're not sponsored by Maker's Mark by the time this video is done, we should be. Because this is just a damn fine whiskey we got here, boys.
Maker's Mark is extremely smooth.
I'm
I was
impressed.
surprised the first time I had it.
I am impressed. I mean, it just goes to show you that all that cheap, all the poor guy, alcoholic, homeless guy whiskey that I've been drinking is just not, it's just not up to par.
It hasn't ruined your fucking taste buds yet.
Not yet, not yet. Because I mean, there's some people. It's like some people. It's like, yeah, I can only drink an entire 2 liters of Dewar's for like $15 a bottle. That's all I can drink.
There's only so much PBR a man can drink.
Everyone likes a little bit of that past blue ribbon, baby. Come on now. All right. So yeah. So I mean, I am the owner of PDHM. Kind of been a wild ride. We established this in 2011. It was just me and a group of friends that wanted to be able to hang out together, and now today we are a successful multi-platform gaming organization. We have several competitive teams, we have a community, content creators, streamers, variety of different platforms, games, and everything else. And we plan on breaking into a few new markets this year and doing some cool things with the website and our store, and really kind of branching out and global conquest. Global conquest. I wouldn't be able to do any of the things that I do without both of you guys here, though. Jax and Javi. They're really the guys that make everything happen. Jax, you want to talk about what you do over here for a second before I just take your limelight for you?
Yeah. So, um, recently, recently I've been doing a lot more. We just now opened a store. We've got, we're going on $1,000 of sale. We've only had it for a couple of weeks now. So that's we're making progress here. So I've actually been with the organization since I believe 2013, or close to the end of 2012. So it started in 2011. Um, actually, when I started out, I was still in college. I was still looking for, something that I could really put my time into and get attached to. And I have to say, this organization has offered me a lot of opportunity to get to know a lot of lifelong friends that I'll always have, man. Richard, I mean, yeah, where do I start with you, man?
I mean,
It's
you're
it's,
you're gonna
it's
be coming to my fucking wedding.
yeah, yeah.
You're,
You're gonna get married soon. I'm gonna be there.
I expect a speech. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah, watch me struggle a little bit. It'll be all right.
I fully expect a speech. Rob's about to get fucking pissed off at the general chat.
Yeah,
He's
they call
about
me the Praetorian for nothing. But yeah, man. I think the thing that really has astonished me is how this organization has come. It's when I first started, we were just you guys had a competitive team on Battlefield 3. Um, if I remember correctly, the Battlefield 4 had just come out. We had just started to build into becoming competitive in Battlefield 4 when I actually joined up. Um, I, I actually had the honor of having being the head of recruitment a month after I joined you guys, and we recruited a lot of great guys that really added to the organization, and we had a lot of success, and I believe we broke the 100 member mark shortly after that.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like now it's 2019. We stopped recruiting, and the only people that we've been bringing in really are people that are gonna be benefiting the team. Aside from community, really just looking at competitive players and content creators. And I mean, we're over 200 plus members now. We have about 170 on Facebook group that we started years ago when there was no Discord. When there was nothing else.
Yeah.
We just had a fucking Facebook. Everyone had a Facebook. Now these kids, they're like, "What's Facebook? I don't have that. My parents have Facebook." It's fucking crazy, man. It's really nuts.
Yeah.
And now on Discord, I mean, we've had this Discord up for maybe a month, and we've got over like 130 members just in this Discord that are almost completely separate from the Facebook group. So we're almost at a 300 member mark across the board, which is incredible.
I think that's a really important thing to mention to everybody that's listening is it started out as a group of friends, and we've also maintained that over the years, but we've also added in the competitive aspect. So just because you join the clan doesn't mean that you have to be on the competitive team. It's more of a community of really great people.
Exactly.
There's a lot of us that have been here for a really long time.
No, I mean, like even the people that are on the competitive team are all friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a big thing we pride ourselves on. Maybe Javi can take over there because he was actually leading our Call of Duty teams for the past few years and just kind of decided to step down from that recently to take on a more administrative role within the organization. And the boy wants to get his feet wet. He wants to fire some people. Let's be honest.
Javi, you wanna tell us how you joined PDHM and kind of how you went from just being the new guy to being the head of, I mean, all of the COD teams, making these executive decisions.
It started out through Twitter. There is not a introduction message that was sent. It was pretty much just like, so when do you want to invite me? That's pretty much how Rich has started it.
Yeah.
Ever since then, it went from
I'm an aggressive male.
Yeah.
Just
It's pretty much.
You're coming with me, boy.
Yeah.
It started out. I think it was Battlefield 4. I think it was towards the end of Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
Richard pretty much was like, you should come around with us for a little bit. It was nothing COD related, and then once I had stated that I was a strictly COD player, and everybody found that out. They're like, oh COD this. I'm like, okay. I was starting to feel a little bit underwhelmed, but towards the end, it not really being that much of an issue because I respected both games equally, both set of players and
Yeah.
gameplay and styles and whatnot, just the same as I would, respect mine.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, even if I can cut you off for a sec, I mean, like, I could actually even go as far as to say that we would not. I'm gonna be honest here, Jackson. Maybe even this will come as a surprise to you. We would not be doing this on this level on the different games if it wasn't for Javi. Because Javi had talked to me originally and was interested in heading up a Call of Duty team. And I got so much resistance, bro, from everybody. Oh, we don't do that. We don't play Battlefield. We don't play Call of Duty. We're Battlefield players. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I just want to do this. I want to make this kid happy. Maybe something good will come of it. Next thing you know, I found myself loving having the extra work, having the extra teams, having the extra people, and the outreach that we were able to kind of reach, and all the extra competition. Because it's like when you're in my boots or your guys' boots, it becomes different. The players care about winning, and the community cares about winning. But I mean, I'm in there like I feel like I'm a player. I feel like I'm in every match. You know what I mean? If you guys win or lose, I mean that tugs on me emotionally.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a first-hand effect. I mean, we would not have branched out to anything other than Battlefield if you hadn't come along. I mean, maybe we would have eventually, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, we were strictly Battlefield for years, right? I mean, think about it, bro. Like, what, 4 years? Something like that? Strictly Battlefield?
Yeah, I can't remember a time where we actually went out of our way to try to recruit somebody that didn't play Battlefield. I mean, when I was the head of recruitment with Nathan, I mean, we were, I mean, to even get in the door, you had to have at least a 2.0 KD, and that was on Battlefield 4. Like, that wasn't an easy thing to do,
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you had a let's say a 1.8, we wouldn't even consider you unless you could. We had this trial where we would play Operation Locker, and we would put that one person on the other team, and we would tell them to take over Charlie in the middle of the map, and it would be me and Nathan and one of the subs, that we would have different people in that had just joined and just test. I mean, it was really to put someone in an unwinnable situation where they were outnumbered 3-1, because we would try to have every member of PDHM have a 3.0 KD. That's what you aspire to. So if you had a 3-1 situation where you were rushing in an objective against people that actually knew what the hell they were doing and had excellent communication, just to see, really not expect them to win, but just get their attitude, just to observe their attitude,
Just to see their
when
movement.
they weren't successful.
Like, what are you
successful,
thinking?
Yeah.
Just to see what you're thinking.
I actually used to put myself in a so Rich, when we got Nathan and I got recruited, because when you correct me if I'm wrong, but the first time that you ever Jersey recruited us, Ryan recruited us, but the first time you ever watched Nathan and I play, you were astonished because of the way we moved together, but no one said anything. No one had to say anything, because
Exactly.
it was like,
it was just second nature.
Yeah, it was incredible, because the chat would be completely silent,
Yeah.
but you would always be there, and you always knew if you were on the other team that there's always that was Nathan and I's motto. There's always two, so if you drop one of us, there's going to be one close behind.
Well, that was like the only people I've ever shared that with really was Murder Hell, Marcus Van Anderberg. Little shout out to one of the original founders of PDHM on Battlefield 3. He was actually the one that made me a good Battlefield player. He was actually the one that taught me how to use cover.
Like that,
well, the thing was that he was on the competitive team, so he was on the starting 5v5 team. He was on the first team that we ever made. And so we would run together and we wouldn't talk. We wouldn't have to talk. We would just run together, and we would just know. I would know that he was going to look left, and I would look right, and it was just a given scenario.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've only had that with like a handful of people, and that was, I don't know, it was just different. I know what you're saying. It's just different. You know what I mean?
I have a unique play style. So for someone to be able to understand how I move, and be able to move like I do is pretty incredible. 'Cause
Exactly.
don't get me wrong. I'm not the best player, but there's a reason I have a 3.2 KD. I'm not the best player, and I think I'm gonna refer to the famous player Thresh. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He used to play. I do believe he was 60-0 in tournaments in Quake, and
Yeah,
back
yeah. I
when
thought
he
so.
was
You're talking
playing,
about.
he was a top dog, but his unorthodox play style allowed him to be 60-0.
Yeah.
He said one time, let me quote him, that if you have to rely on your reflexes, you probably did something wrong leading up to that point.
Exactly.
And I pretty much live by that. But I've never had someone play so unorthodox like that, where they're putting themselves in a situation that can read a situation in half a second and realize that they can't win and put themselves in the perfect spot to be so difficult for the enemy team that you could win a 5-on-1 matchup.
Well, that was like
I've never met
fucking.
anyone else that could actually do
Well,
that.
think
'Cause
about
everybody,
it. Think about even me, Jaxon. What was that shit called in Battlefield 4? Dawnbreaker. Everyone likes to talk shit, but you remember me on rails on Dawnbreaker?
yeah, it was pretty rough.
I mean, I
You,
was.
you ran the M16, so
I would just
I mean,
headshot people. That was it.
yeah.
I mean, I had something. I had like a 30% kill death with headshots. So 30% of my kills were from headshots, just using an M16. It was nuts. It was so that when you think about that, every like 3.25 bullets was a headshot. So like that means that one in every burst was a headshot. Think about it that way.
Yeah, you played a very conservative play style back in Battlefield. If I remember, you were more of an anchor.
Yeah, I just played anchor.
I mean, back in Battlefield 4, I mean, if you hit that sweet spot with the M16 where you hit them in the collarbone,
It was one burst people. That was it.
Headshot.
Yeah.
And that was when everybody was using the AEK. And I remember playing against some of when we recruited guys like Sam, like Nathan and I, when we found Sam, and we did that situation. We did a 2-on-1 against Sam, and I one bursted him. I would one burst him so many times in that match in the middle objective that he got so pissed off that he accused me of lagging because he just couldn't, in his head, he couldn't register that this was happening to him because he's using one of the arguably the best assault rifles in the game, and he's getting one bursted by a burst rifle at close range. Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No, I mean think about it, bro. Like you've seen the Patriot. Aim small, miss small.
Yeah. Aim small, miss small.
If you aim for the fucking head, what's the worst you're gonna hit? The fucking neck. You know what I mean? Like you aim for the head, you're gonna hit something. You aim for the body, you can miss a lot. You know what I mean? You aim for the tiniest little speck of fucking. Like I used to think. You remember on Battlefield 4, you used to have the patch on the chest and the patch on the arm that had your emblem. I would try and think to aim for the patch. Right, so that was my thought. Aim for the patch. Just aim for the tiniest, most minuscule thing that you cannot see. Think about where it is on the body, aim for it, and you'll be rewarded. I mean, it just makes sense. All right, we're talking too much about fucking Battlefield.
Yeah.
Javi, you want to talk about what you do?
Well, I mean,
You started to, and then we ran off on a fucking tangent.
Yes.
I know.
Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. The people
back
want
to what I was
answers.
saying. Yeah, I know they want answers.
We'll talk about our positions, then we'll move on to the next topic here because I feel like we're drawing it out a little bit. Good.
So all comes Black Ops 3 beta. That was like 2016, I think. just I felt the game. It was fast paced, and which is something that I think I thrive in more than the typical player. Um, I started to feel real confident about playing competitive, so I let Rich know that we should maybe start a competitive team. And at this time, I wasn't looking for a captain role. I wasn't looking for a team manager role. I was just looking to play and just give it my all. This was my senior year in high school, or going into my senior year in high school, so things were starting to get tight. Um, we had recruited a set of four, along with myself, or three. I don't know, four. Um, that was Paradox. Yikes. It was
Yeah,
Paradox,
seriously.
Fisky, um, Legacy, and myself. And I don't know if you remember Rich. Legacy was a really good pub star. He was so good. The
Yes.
kid was dropping like 40 plus every
Wasn't his
game.
name Nick, like in real life? Wasn't it Nick?
No, it was Caesar.
Caesar, Jesus.
Yeah, he he was super good, and we thought everything was gonna play out. At this time, Pear was the head of the team. Um, we had ran some GBs a couple of times. We had our ups and downs. We had to make Fisk a sub and drop Legacy because you didn't want to play anymore. And then here comes Brad and Stav fell right into our laps. Um, and then this is where it all started with
The pieces started
our
to
run.
fall.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pieces started to complete the puzzle. Things were starting to look better. Um, we were playing well for a while. Probably I'd give it like a month and a half. And then Stav had just I don't know what it was. He was playing different, he was acting weird. I think it was college at the time for him. He kind of just disappeared for a little bit. So then we had picked up somebody else. I think his name was mm, not, I don't know. I think it was Miles. And Miles was another kid our age at the time. Well, Brad's age, because Brad was like 20 something at that time. Pretty good at what he did. We had taken that team with Pear, and we were kind of just confused. After Stav had left, it kind of just messed up the team chemistry, and we were losing games. And Pear had talked to Rich for a little bit about just giving off the role to someone else, and that someone else was Brad. Um, Brad, that man, I give all respect to that guy for leading us to where we were
Yeah,
and
man.
where we had gotten. He saw Call of Duty as, not just an FPS game, not just a go capture the hill, go plant the bomb game. He saw it as one big giant chess game. He put us in specific places and where we needed to be in order to make our next move to win that battle. And just the like it was a 3 4 month reign where we were just going on and off, was just constant wins and streaks, and then we would lose two and win 12 and lose one or two again.
Yeah, and then you gotta start
It
playing
was
against fucking pros.
Yeah, we had signed up for the GB tournament. um it was probably the 2K, if I had to just take a wild guess. We had played against, it was a mixed team. It was Apathy, no, Aqua. It was another phase member, and it was Apathy, and just some random guy they were playing with. Granted, we got first rounded, but let me tell you, that was one of the best games in means to learning on how we wanted to play the game
I
in
mean,
a
it,
way,
it
where our
elevates you to a
standings
whole
were.
other fucking level, man. You know
And
what I
it,
mean?
it, it sparks that fire. It really does.
Exactly.
It's like throwing fuel, and you're just like, holy, like what the heck's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
So towards that time, I was starting my senior year of high school, and I just had to be straight up with Rich. I was like, I can't play anymore. Trying to
It broke my heart.
balance Black Ops 3 competitive versus my senior year of high school. It was it was tough.
Yeah.
It was really
No,
tough.
and like, bro, like even for me, like Jax, when he told me that, that was at the same time that I was leaving Canada.
Mhm.
So my life was essentially falling apart and restarting all at the same time again. It was like a brand new start for me. And I mean, like I didn't have the time and I didn't have the infrastructure to be able to manage all these things on my own. And so, I mean, like I took a sabbatical as well.
Yeah. You took a long hiatus. I was, at this point in time, I had known you for a few months. You were starting to become a friend. We would talk on and off through Messenger or Twitter or whatnot. You would tell me, little key things. What's going on. Um, the situation that you had went through kind of made me realize, I shouldn't be putting this pressure in a way, because once I had stopped playing Black Ops 3 competitive, I didn't touch another Call of Duty competitively up until Modern Warfare,
Yeah,
because everything else, it was the games. Like, I give credit to the game developers. I'm glad they had brought out a game, but I just wish things were differently. The boots on the ground should have came sooner. The futuristic stuff should have waited until a little bit later on down the road that they had
exactly.
planned.
No, things should have just changed. You know what I mean? They should have.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's also things that we could have done to be able to better adapt. But you know what, though, man? I mean, like, I would not have been able to survive and do what I'm doing outside of PDHM if I didn't take that sabbatical. You know what I mean?
Rich,
Because
Yeah.
what were you gonna say, Jax?
I was gonna ask you how'd you feel when you took that time off and you came back and it was still there? Because usually organizations, gaming organizations, when the head guy that holds everybody together leaves, it kind of falls apart. I mean, how
It's
did
one
you
of
feel when you
it's one
came
of
back and
the
you were like,
proudest
wow,
things.
like
It's one of the things that I am proudest of about all of this. Just from point A to point Z. From what we started at to where we are now, one of the things that I'm proudest of is our longevity. Right? So for example, we were in Battlefield 3 and then Battlefield 4 came out. So that was one game change, right? Which is a big thing for a lot of people. People don't realize that. But we didn't have Facebook. We didn't have Discord. We didn't have fucking Instagram and Twitter. We didn't have anything, right? We just had Xbox and Battlelog. That was it. Like, the Javi doesn't even know what fucking Battlelog is. We had Xbox and Battlelog, and then Battlefield 4 came out. And then we survived a console change. So that split our team in half. Half of the people got the Xbox One, half the people stayed with Xbox 360. And it didn't make it any easier that I didn't get an Xbox One until a year into the Xbox One being out. So I didn't get it. I was on Xbox 360 trying to lead an Xbox One team. Right? So the whole thing was fucking crazy. And then we survived Battlefield 4 into Hardline, and then Battlefield 1, and then now we're at Battlefield 5 and everything in between. All the different Call of Duties, this and that, Rainbow Six, blah, 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 Destiny. I mean, we were doing weird shit. And the thing that I'm proudest of is that the fact that this was made out of a place of friendship and like a loose bond of love has made it so that we were able to stick around. So if I had to say, it makes me proud, Jax. Like, I feel very proud to have came back and see it all still standing, because
yeah.
our longevity is akin to nobody. I don't know any other team that has lasted this long through this many phases and changes and things, and this wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the community and for you guys. You know what I mean? Like, the first time I disappeared, Ryan Lax and Christopher Monroe took over, and
I
they
can't.
ran things.
I mean,
And then what are you gonna say?
I can't imagine. And I know he's not active anymore, but I can't imagine me being here like now without Nathan. I
Well, that's what I
mean,
was gonna say. Is it's
he was more adamant about being part of this organization than I was at the time. And when you took took a break, he was calling me every day, like, we got to keep going. And we weren't, at that point, we had resigned from, being the heads of recruitment,
Yeah.
which was a great honor, but we had resigned at that point. I don't know who took over after us, but we weren't actively seeking out good players anymore. And it really surprised me at this point because when you took that break was during Battlefield 1. So what happened was we would play and be at the top of the leaderboard, and someone from the other team that was also at the top message and ask us if they could join PDHM. And that's how we recruited people.
That was it,
Felt
baby.
like going forward, like it was like effortless,
Exactly.
I know Battlefield 1 was very controversial. A lot of people didn't like it, but I mean, I think being a Battlefield player is all about adaptation, and I've always been very adamant about, regardless of how bad or good the game is, you adapt to the situation that evolves around you.
Yeah,
And
man.
I think that's what makes a Battlefield player is
Absolutely.
looking at a situation regardless of the circumstances and trying to make the best out of it. That's really what makes Battlefield players different from any other players of any other console.
Exactly.
It's
And
now
it's like
I will say this: they switch over to COD, and if they try to push, they get smacked around. Because they're not used to that.
it's a different mindset.
Yeah,
It's like if you take well, and it's like especially like us on Battlefield, we don't play with aim assist.
yeah.
And then you
I've,
go
I've
into a
turned
game
it off.
exactly, and then you go into a game like Call of Duty, and it's aim assist heavy. That's a big part of it, and it's just a difference. You know what I mean? That's literally just a difference. And it's like it's just one of
I
those
don't believe
things.
in it.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it.
It's just one of those things. I can say real quick, we're gonna wrap up this, and I think we're gonna end this here because we are at 32 minutes, and I kind of want to try and keep these things close, and then we'll be back later with episode 2 as well. But I did just want to say quickly, we would not still be here if it wasn't for Marcus, Sultan, Christopher, Ryan, Jaxon, and Nathan. And I can confidently say that I would not be talking here to you guys right now if it wasn't for those people. And just quickly, I want to say thank you to all those people. I want to say thank you to everybody, including you guys, because we wouldn't be doing what we're doing day to day right now without either of you.
Yeah.
I mean, it would just be an impossibility. I rely so much on you guys, and I rely so much on just the wonderful people that we have here, and I mean just the support. I love all you guys individually. I do my best to be able to get to know every single person, and I feel like what we have and that mindset sets us apart from other people. Where we have strangers on the internet defending us, we got fucking Cherries, Complexity, literally standing up for us. We got strangers standing up for us, defending us. We got, our families here. We got our friends there. I mean, half of the people I'm inviting to my wedding are PDHM. Like literally, the friends that I'm inviting to my wedding are PDHM, and I mean, I think that's a testament of what we stand for and who we are as people. And that's kind of what we're at. But like I said, I want to wrap this one up. Then we're back again with episode 2. We kind of fucking doted around for a little too long.
Yeah.
And then get to talk about any other shit we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Either of you guys want to say anything before we wrap this one up?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead, Javi, and then I'll close this out here.
The amount of support, Richard, that you had given everybody, the amount of confidence you've put into people, the amount of time and effort, it'll eventually be paid back, and that's exactly what's happening right now. You gave me the motivation to keep going through whatever it was. I was going through family situations. You would talk me through it. I'm going through financial situations. You're talking me through it. And like I had told you earlier today, in order to be built, you must build your foundation.
Yep.
And you have, just in myself, I understand that everyone else has their own specific and, individual situations with you. But mine specifically, you have given me the support, you have given me the time and effort, you have motivated me, and to push for these things that I would not have pushed for by my. You trusted me in doing certain things. You trust me, some of your accounts that you have and stuff like that. The trust is given back. I, trust you 110%. I would not fly to New Jersey for your wedding if I did not trust you.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, man.
You're not only just a friend or, a teammate, you end up becoming family. And ever since I have joined PDHM, it's been friends and family oriented, and I could not be any more thankful. And it has given me every step that I need to climb up the ladder that I need to be successful.
Gonna make an old man fucking cry, man. Jesus
See,
fucking Christ.
it's things
Ooh.
that are there in plain sight.
Ooh.
It's
Came with a heavy hand.
are in plain sight.
God damn it. It might be the maker's
You-
mark, or this might be the fucking.
Yeah.
Oof. Oof. Boy's hitting me hard. This boy is hitting me hard. No, because
Go ahead.
I mean, just how, like, I don't, I just love you, kid. You know what I mean? I just love you. I don't know why. I just have. I do. I love you. I love everybody. I
It's our
love you.
brotherhood.
It's a brother. You're my brother. Jackson's my brother. I love you guys. You know what I mean? It's
It's a fraternity.
yeah,
I mean, that's really, at the end of the day, it's a fraternity without being, loyal to the Greek life.
exactly. And
It's an actual fraternity.
exactly.
And you put nothing, no money in, and you get nothing but love out. And I think that's what a lot of people need. And I would encourage anybody who's still listening, because we've been going on for quite some time now. Yeah. It's been a while. If you made it this to reach out to us and join the community. Our motto is join the movement, know community, and live superior. I know that sounds like a whiskey brand, but
Maybe it will be one day, baby. Come on.
yeah, maybe it will be.
Hit us up. Hit us up, Maker's Mark. We could be making the Live
That's,
Superior
that's what
brand.
we live by. No, we will accept anyone willing to join the community, and if you're seeking out a real family outside of your real family, this is you found it. So feel free to reach out to us on Twitter or Instagram or any other social media for that matter. And I'm pleased to say finished with our first ever official podcast, and I hope everyone has a good night. Look out for the second one, should be coming soon. So, Richard, why don't you go ahead and close us out?
All right, a little shameless plug, www.pdhm-na.com. Check out the store, buy some merch, get your apparel. Come on, baby. I know you want to do it. Support the movement. Live superior. Come on. Instagram, pdhm.gaming. Twitter, pdhm_gaming. Twitch, pdhm_gaming. Check us out. Join the movement. No community. Live superior. That's what we want to do here.
You're not done yet. Also, shout out to the sponsors: Fatal
Ooh.
Grips,
Ooh,
Eminence
baby.
Rap Shop, Rogue Energy, and what is it? GG.
GG bracelets and Boss boxes.
There you go.
That's it. Big Boss boxes. Triple B, baby. Living that Triple B life. And we are done.